The Democrats have tried to destroy Clarence Thomas because, they've gone after him and his wife. But there's shocking new revelation about how he's getting more and more popular over time. We have the article to read to you. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. We are longtime fans of Clarence Thomas. He's got to be, Scalia was my favorite. And then when he passed, Clarence Thomas has now risen up as my favorite. I'm going to tell you why I really despise what the Democrats do to him. By the way, probably about 15, 20 years ago, they were talking about Clarence Thomas, and they were saying he's the dumbest member of the Supreme Court, that he doesn't write well, doesn't write his opinions because he's not super chatty. And really, they were just telling lies about him all the way back then. Then they did the insurrection where they said that he should have recused himself because of his wife, Ginny Thomas, being politically active. Now they're going into his private donors have given him gifts of Winnebagos and trips, and they're trying to make him look corrupt, even though he's not. Here's the Newsweek article. Clarence Thomas gets a Supreme Court boost. Where's the boost? Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas has gone up in popularity despite all the recent controversies about him, according to new polling. So now they're taking polls on him. This is exactly like what they tried to do to Trump, where they try to take him out and then they just slander him with lies. And then they go back and go, wait, the people don't believe us, but we're Democrats and we're media. They've discredited themselves. They're losing their social power to influence the masses. And it drives them crazy, of course. Out of the 1,500 people who were surveyed, 17% said Thomas was favorable, and 10% said he was unfavorable, giving him a net approval rating of +6. By the way, this is more popular than the media itself, CNN itself, many politicians, etc. The questionnaire was carried out among eligible voters in the U.S. between June 11th and June 12th by the consulting firm Redfield and Wilton Strategies, exclusively on behalf of Newsweek. Some 14% of people said Thomas was very favorable. 15% said very unfavorable. 27% neither, and 17% did not know. This may come as a surprise to some, as Thomas is embroiled in multiple scandals, the most high profile of which includes his failing to disclose gifts from Republican mega donor Harland Crow, which is a huge nothing burger. Last April, ProPublica, the nonprofit investigation newsroom, said that Thomas had not disclosed that Crow had paid for luxury trips. But there's no demand that he pay for them unless he's weighing in on legislature that has to do with that money. Numerous private plane flights, skybox, tickets to sporting events, and even the tuition of a relative. At the time, Thomas defended his relationship with the Texas real estate billionaire, saying he and his family were among his dearest friends, whom he has joined on a number of family trips. Thomas said, quote, "Early in my tenure on the court, I sought guidance from my colleagues and others in the judiciary and was advised that this sort of personal hospitality from close personal friends who did not have business before the court was not reportable. That is, it's not an issue. I have endeavored to follow that counsel throughout my tenure and have always sought to comply with the disclosure guidelines." So he's doing nothing wrong. There you go. These guidelines are now being changed, he's saying, as the committee of the Judicial Conference responsible for financial disclosures for the entire federal judiciary just this past month announced the new guidance. And it is, of course, my intent to follow that guidance in the future, unquote, the statement added. So just to show you what the Democrats did and the lefty media did. He's been taking favors from a friend, a personal friend, all this time. Then they just recently put together a new disclosure agreement that said that the Supreme Court justices have to report their past freebies. So he had to report them now. It was not a cover-up. It was not a secret. He's following the rules. They never had the rules before. Now they have the rules and he's following them. And now they're going like, you have to recuse yourself on everything and be discredited and give up the court. He broke no rules, guys. After the report, Thomas amended his financial disclosure forms and the Supreme Court. But on Thursday, information about more trips came to light. So here's this last sentence here. Senate Judiciary Chairman Dick Durbin, Democrat, recently said it is crystal clear that the highest court needs an enforceable code of conduct because its members continue to choose not to meet the moment, unquote. Now, what Dick Durbin is trying to do is they're trying to get another branch of government to do oversight on the Supreme Court. And that is not their job. Okay. But they're trying to, because they're supposed to be separate. They're trying to get Congress. So when there's Democrats in there, to start impeaching these justices, give them trouble, make them submit, and of course, give the Democrats a pass. We already know how this two-tier justice system works. Okay, so the good news is Clarence Thomas is more popular than ever. That is, he goes up a notch every time they do these posts. They thought that they would be able to drag him down, and lo and behold, it didn't work. The people do not believe Thomas's critics. We all know he's a good guy. He's probably the best Supreme Court justice, probably more popular than Sotomayor, Kagan, they can't, or Ketanji Brown Jackson. I don't think people can even name those other names. I'm Doug in Exile.